Hi, my name is Mr. Choi. I welcome you to my study room. Today, I'm solving WASSCE 2024 Objective or Multiple Choice paper written by Ghana. And I'm answering questions 2, 11, 12, 24, 25, 26, 30, and 33. I put these questions together because all of them appear to be from under one and the same topic, which is equations. Let's go straight to question 2, which asks us to solve x multiplying 3x plus 4 all equal to 4. And like I said, this is a question under equations, and more specifically quadratic equations. The first thing we are going to do will be to expand this parenthesis using the distributive property. So x will multiply the x here, and then the same x will multiply this, and then we solve. So that's what I'm going to do now. I will first rewrite the question. All right. So x times 3x gives us 3x squared. Then x times 4 will give us plus 4x equal to 4. Then the next thing we are going to do will be to move this 4 to the left side. And that will mean it will switch sign. So we are now going to have 3x squared plus 4x minus 4 equals 0. And from here, since calculator is permitted on the exam, we don't have to stretch ourselves by solving this. So we are just going to get the A, B, and C part of it. What am I trying to say? I mean, quadratic equation is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, right? So that means the 3 here is our A, the 4 is our B, and the negative 4 is our C. So we are going to put those 3 into our calculator. Let me get onto the calculator quickly. All right, so on our calculator, we go to mode, and then we choose 5, which is equation. And then we want an equation in this form, and that is right on number 3. So we choose number 3. So here, our A is 3, so you put 3. You enter equal to, B is 4, you put 4 equal to, and then C is negative 4. Make sure you are using this negative sign and not minus, but negative 4. And then enter, or equal to, and then equal to again. So the x1 is 2 over 3. And again, this is a quadratic equation. So under normal circumstances for real roots, the quadratic is expected to have 2 solutions. So that's why we have x1, so which is 2 over 3. And then the second answer is negative 2. So that means that x equals 2 over 3 or negative 2. And looking through the options, that is option B. Let's move on to question 11. Question 12 follows 11. So since I'm working both of them, I bring them together. And let's go straight to question 11, which says that if 2x plus 3y equals 18 and 4x plus 5y equals 32, find the value of 2x minus y. So this is what we are going to do. Again, because calculator is permitted on this examination, we don't have to stress ourselves working the simultaneous equation, but rather we are going to use our calculator to work it out. And then when we finish, we just solve for this part of it. So let's get a calculator quickly. And this is my calculator. I still have the previous calculations on it. But then we go to mode again. And then we choose equation number 5. And then we choose linear equation in 2 variables. So that is number 1. A n x plus b n y equal to c n. X and y means that there are 2 different variables, and then the cn is a constant. So let's choose number 1, and then we are going to put the same things a, b, c of the various terms of the equations. So just to make sure we are all on the same page, for equation 1, this is a, this is b, and this is c. Equation 2, this is a, this is b, and this is c. So now let's go back to the calculator. Or let me write them at the top. This is a, b, c, a, b, and c. And remember, I'm talking only about the coefficients, the numbers in front of the variables, and the variables themselves are not included. So let's get on to the calculator. For equation 1, A we have 2. Remember to press equal to. B has 3 equal to, and then C has 18, and then equal to. Automatically the cursor drop to equation 2. So A for equation 2 is 4. You enter 4 equal to. B is 5 equal to, and then C is 32 equal to, and then you press equal to again, and that gives you X to be 3 and then Y to be 4. So we have X equals 3 and Y equals 4. But remember, that is not what the question is looking for. The question is looking for 2x minus y. So 2x minus y becomes 2 times whatever we see x, we put 3, see y, we put 4. And that will be 6 minus 4. And that equals 2. So that means the correct answer is option C. Let's go to question 12. And question 12 says that Regina is 34 years old and her daughter is 5 years. In n years, Regina will be twice as old as her daughter. Find the value of n. And as usual, let's get some key facts from the problem. And one of them is that Regina is 34 years old and her daughter is 5 years old. But more important information is that in n years, Regina will be twice as old as her daughter. And that is where we are starting from. So let me write that in n years, Regina will be her age now plus n years. It's like you being, let's say, 34 years old now, and I said in 10 years, what will you be? So it will be 34 plus 10, right? And that is what we are doing. So that will be 34 plus n years. That will be Regina's years. And her daughter will be her age now, which is 5, also plus n, 9 years. But then that is where the latter part of the question comes in. It says that in n years, Regina will be twice as old as her daughter. That means 34 plus n, which is Regina's year after n years, will be equal to twice, that is 2 times her daughter's age after n years. And then simplifying the right answer, we are going to have 34 plus n equals 10. Again, we are just using a distributive property. So 2 times 5 is 10 plus 2 times n is 2n. And then grouping like terms, we're going to have 34. We bring this to the left, it becomes negative 10, so minus 10 equals, we have just 2n left here, so 2n. We bring this to the right, it becomes minus n. Then 34 minus 10 is 24 equal to n. And that is the value for n. N is 24. Maybe if you want to verify, we can do that. So that means in 24 years, Regina will be 34 plus 24. That will be 58 years. And her daughter will be 5 plus 24, which is 29. And let's see whether 58 is twice 29. And that is true, but just to verify with the calculator. So let's go to mode 1 to come to general calculation. So 58 divided by 29. And that is 2. So you mean that our answer is correct. So the correct answer for n is 24, which is option A. Now let's go to question 24. Question 24 is asking that find the value of x for which 2x minus 1 all over x squared plus 2x plus 1 is undefined or is not defined. And I'll start by saying that a rational function is not defined when the denominator, which is the number under, is 0. So simply put, the whole expression here will be undefined when the denominator is 0. So that is what I'm going to do. This will be undefined when x squared plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. And we'll find the value of x that will make this 0. And again, because this examination is calculator active, we don't have to go and do any long calculation. So let's go back to the calculator. And again, we go to mode. And this is a quadratic equation. So we go first to equation, which is number 5. And then we go to number 3, which is quadratic. So 3. And then again, let's get our ABC before we come back to the calculator. The A is supposed to be the coefficient of x squared. And anytime it's not written, it's 1. I hope we all know that. So that is A. And this is B. And this is C. Now let's go back to the calculator. So A is 1, B is 2, and C is 1. And then we just put in equal to again. So X is -1. And it's only one answer. I mean, it's -1 repeated, but we just want the -1. So simply put, when you put -1 back into the equation, you are going to get 0. And I mean, when you put -1 here, -1 squared is 1 plus 2 times -1 is -2. Then plus 1 will give us -1 plus 1 is 0. So our correct answer is A. Let's go to question 25. And again, question 26 goes with 25. And here, we are even using the same information to answer the problem. So it makes sense to put both of them on the same page. And now let's go to the problem, which says that the table describes the relation y equals mx plus c, where m and c are constants. Use the information to answer questions 25 and 26. And question 25 says that, what is the gradient of the equation of the line? And we'll start right from here. Y equals mx plus c. This is the slope-intercept form of a straight line. Y equals mx plus c, where m is the slope and then c is the y-intercept of the line. Question 25 asks us to find the gradient of the line, which is the same as the slope. Another name for the gradient is the slope. So let me write here slope / gradient. So we'll first look for the formula for finding the slope of a straight line joining 2 points. And what I mean by 2 points is when you take this table here, these are coordinates of points on the line. The x is the x coordinate and the y is the y coordinate. And for slope, you are going to use the formula m equals change in y, which is y2 minus y1 over change in x, which is x2 minus x1. And we can pick any of the pairs. So using any 2 arbitrary points, let's say this and that, I'm going to have my first point to be, say, A. I'm just giving it a name. X is 4, Y is 3. And remember to bring the X first. And then the second point, let me call it B. X is 6 and Y is 4. So if I'm doing that, this will be my X1, Y1, and then this will be X2, Y2. Simply meaning the X coordinate of the first point and the y coordinate of the first point, the x coordinate of the second point, and the y coordinate of the second point. And substituting that into our gradient formula, we are going to have 4 minus 3 over 6 minus 4. And that will be equal to 4 minus 3 is 1 and 6 minus 4 is 2. So our gradient is 1/2. Then now let's go to 26, which asks us to find the equation of the line described. So as we can see, it's written in the slope-intercept form. So now, practically, our equation now becomes y equals 1/2 x plus c. What am I doing? Just on this, wherever I see m, I put 1/2 there. And then coming back here to the equation, do you remember I said that the c here is the y-intercept? Yes. So you're going to look for c, and just by looking at the table, at the y-intercept, the value of x is 0. So looking at this table, I will say that this is the y-intercept of this line, because I said that the y-intercept x is 0. So our equation becomes y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Or those who want to work it out to see, you can pick any arbitrary point and put the coordinates into the equation. And for me, I would choose 1 and 0 because that is very easy to work. So wherever I see y, I put 1. Wherever I see x, I put 0. So 1/2 0 plus c. So 1 will be equal to 1/2 times 0 is 0 plus c is c. So c equals 1. So that's what I have here. But looking at the options here, I don't have this. So that means I have to simplify. And working it further, I will multiply through by 2. I'm going to have 2y to be equal to, when 2 multiplies half, we get 1. So we get x plus 2 times 1 is 2. So looking through, this becomes option D. 2y equals x plus 2. And to verify this, when you pick this equation, you can pick any point from the table. When you put the x value wherever you see x and you put the y value wherever you see y, the left side should be equal to the right side. Then you know that your equation is correct. So the correct answer is answer D, or option D. Now let's go to question 30. And question 30 has equation for us to solve. And we are going to solve it just the way we will solve addition and subtraction of fraction. We're going to find LCM of 4, 3, and 6. And I'm sure you're saying that that is 12, right? The smallest number, all the 3 can divide without a remainder. That is 12. So we are going to do 12 times x minus 2 all over 4 minus 12 times 2x minus 4 over 3, that equals to 12 times 5 over 6. So the 4 here divides into 12. 3 times x will be 3x, and then 3 times negative 2 will be negative 6. Then here the 3 divides into the 12 4 times. But guys, this time we are not using 4, but we are using negative 4. So negative 4 times 2x will give us negative 8x. It's very important, because if you miss the negative sign, your final answer will be wrong. Negative 4 times negative 4 will give us positive 16. And that will be equal to the 6 divided into the 12. 2 times, and 2 times 5 is 10. Now we group like terms. So this and this are like terms, and this and that are also like terms. So 3x minus 8x will give us negative 5x. Then negative 6 plus 16 will give us positive 10, and that equals 10. And moving this to the right side and moving the 10 to the left side, we are going to have 10 minus 10 equals 5x. 10 minus 10 is 0, equals 5x. And dividing both sides by 5, x will be equal to 0. So that is option B. And again, when we come back and we put the 0 into each term here, the left side should be equal to the right side. So in fact, as a matter of fact, those who cannot work this equation here, that is what you have to do. But you just have to take your time and do it well. When you plug each of the numbers or each of the options here into your equation, it's only one of them that will make the left side to be equal to the right side, and that is 0. That is what will make it right. So you can take your time and use your calculator to verify that. And we now move to the next problem, which is the final one for today's study, and that is question 33. And question 33 requires us to find the value of x that satisfy the equation 2 over 3 multiplying x plus 5 equals 1 minus x minus 7 over 2. So again, if you cannot solve this equation just like we did for question 30 a while ago, the smart move you can make will be wherever you see x, you plug in each of these values and simplify your calculator until the left side is equal to the right side. But we are going to solve A to see what we get. And it's the same thing. We are going to look for the LCM. So the whole of the left side is 1 term. This is over 1. So the denominators are 3, 1, and 2. And the LCM of all 3 will be 6. So we are going to use the 6 to multiply each term. Let's do that quickly. So we're going to have 6 times 2 over 3 multiplying x plus 5 equals 6 times 1, let me make it this way, minus 6 times x minus 7 all over 2. And here, a very important thing you should know is what a term of an equation means. Each term is separated either by a plus or minus. Here there is a plus here, but because it's in the parentheses, the whole thing here is one term. And then this one is also another term because it's separated from this by a minus. So let's not forget that. Now 3 divided into 6 2 times. And this 2 gives us 4 because they are multiplied. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 5 is 20. Equals 6 times 1 is 6. And then 2 divides here 3 times. So now it becomes negative 3 multiplying x minus 7. It's very important. The negative 3 is not multiplying just the x, but rather x minus 7 because they share a common denominator. So negative 3 times x will be negative 3x. And then negative 3 times 7 will be positive 21. And grouping like terms, I move this to the left. It becomes 4x plus 3x equals 6 plus 21 will be 27. Then I move this to the right. So it becomes 27 minus 20. So this gives us 7x equals 7. Dividing both sides by 7, x will be equal to 1. And that is option B. If you put x equal to 1 into this equation here, again, the left side should be equal to the right side. And this is where we end the study for today. If you have been able to follow me this far, then I think this is a good time to encourage you to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Till we meet again, solving other questions. Bye-bye for now.